Hello and welcome to Forgotten Clubs, where today we'll be going through a bit of football history in Ruthin. So, the first football club in Ruthin was formed in September 1878 and were known just as the Ruthin Club, or there are sporadic sources that do refer to them as the Ruthin Town Club as well. So, their pitch is given as a star field, so it'd be the modern day Kaiseren, at that area. So, in 1879, they entered the Welsh Cup for the first ever time. And the first ever time they entered the Welsh Cup, they actually reached the final. So they played in the final in 1880, and they played against Druids in the final at Wrexham. Now, Ruthin were leading 1-0 at half time, with a goal scored by Uriah Goodwin, who was also a Wales international. So he became a Wales international whilst playing for Ruthin. Obviously, in the days of the amateurs, it's mad to think that nowadays. But yeah, he was a Wales international, playing for Ruthin. So Ruthin led 1-0 at half time in the Welsh Cup final. Ruthin played in amber and black striped shirts. But in the second half, Druids staged a comeback and Druids won the Welsh Cup 2-1. So Ruthin, although reached the final the first ever time they entered the Welsh Cup, they were runners up. So this team carried on playing in the Welsh Cup sporadically up until about 1889, and then the club folded. So there's a new club formed by October 1893. They played in maroon shirts, obviously different from the blue that the modern day Ruthin Town wear. So they only played one season in the North Wales Coast League, and then in 1895 they folded due to debts. The secretary and the committee all resigned, and they couldn't find anyone to replace them. And a subsequent meeting was held to find replacements, and no one bothered turning up. So the club folded. Then another replacement club called Ruthin again was formed in September 1902. They played in black and white stripes. They played at the recreation ground. So they played in the North Wales Coast League, which they won twice. And then they also played in the Welsh Cup, but they only got as far as the early rounds. But this club folded in around 1911. They were then replaced by a club called Ruthin Amateur, who existed from 1913 to 1914. Obviously, World War I put a stop to all football in 1914. But yeah, so I'm here now where the modern day Ruthin Town play. So the modern day Ruthin Town formed around the 1950s. Currently playing in the Cymru North League, so that's Tier 2 of Welsh football. Yes, so this is where I am now. So here I am. Pitch behind me there. Cricket field as well. Obviously, quite common back in the olden days for football clubs to share facilities with cricket clubs. And obviously there's something which is still here now in Ruthin. Yeah, so there's a couple of Ruthin clubs featured in my Forgotten Clubs of North Wales book, which will be out in Amazon. Yeah, if you're interested, give it a read. Thank you for watching.